Embarking on adventures like starting a business or traveling the world can be so exciting it propels us forward with sheer enthusiasm in the early days. And when that excitement fades, a solid business plan or itinerary can keep us on track. But when it comes to content creation, it's easy to find yourself lost in a sea of footage or burnt out from so many hurdles that need to be overcome. Modern platforms and technology make it easier than ever to just pick up a camera and press record. But as easy as it can be to get started, staying consistent and on your true path is increasingly difficult. What we all need in these moments is not a spreadsheet or a cinematic script, but rather a humble compass to keep us on the right track, with enough room to explore and do what we set out to do in the first place. A video, like any great journey, begins with the destination in mind. The title not only sets the tone, but it's also the first interaction someone will have with your video. Starting with a strong title builds the foundation for a video with potential, so it's worth spending some time at this stage exploring your idea and searching for the right title. Because after all, you could have made an amazing video, but if no one clicks on it, then your message won't reach the people it's intended for. But no pressure, because even if you decide to change the wording later, having an idea neatly summarized in your title will guide the rest of the process and also help you actually provide value for the audience rather than coming across as clickbait. The next section is similar but supportive to the title: thumbnails and themes. On the worksheet, this is where I'm going to be sketching out or writing down ideas to further solidify the direction for the video and also explore how they could be expressed visually, which is of course something that you should be keeping in mind as YouTube is a visual format. Inside the thumbnail section, I also have an area to write down the general themes that I want to include in the video. These themes don't have to be overt and often work well when they're elegantly woven into the story, but as the creator, it can be helpful to have a list to always refer to, keeping you on track without running into unnecessary detours or tangents. Another thing I like to keep at the top of my mind is why I wanted to make this video in the first place. Of course, the first two sections are very important, but without a purpose or goal, it's very easy to run out of steam or hit a wall when you're working on a video. I think this section should be different from the actual subject of your video, but can serve a practical function by becoming an anecdote to share with your audience to add some character. Or it could serve as a reminder to try a new camera technique out or practice ad-libbing, which is a great way to build up skills naturally, one step at a time. Overall, I put this section here to motivate myself as the creator to actually finish the video and get it out there, which is oftentimes easier said than done. The deadline has a similar effect, but is here to keep you on track. Everyone invests a lot of time into their videos, so it's easy to say, let me just work on this one more day and really make it perfect. But it's easy for tomorrow to turn into next week, or unfortunately, never, as you lose interest and other things come up. This is still something that I really need to work on, but that's exactly why I put it here, and along with the personal goal, it serves as a reminder to me that there's always more videos I want to make. It takes discipline and sometimes tough conversations with yourself, but deadlines are so necessary for individuals, and especially for teams, that want to move forward beyond the micro to achieve their macro goals as creators and for their channels. Below that, I have some bullet points. Usually this is where I would write key items that I want to cover in the video, which makes it easier to say plan the filming of B-roll or write the script. Sometimes this section becomes a checklist for me, like clean up the studio or set up the new camera angle, or it could even include a shopping list or a list of things that I need to test before I start filming. Then I put 3 boxes for more practical action and to chart my progress through the video. Oftentimes this is going to be a combination of A-roll, B-roll, or edit, but can also include things like research and script. And you can also write some notes here, like what kind of footage you'll be needing. Being able to check off and see the progress of your video in a more concrete way has helped me numerous times reach the finish line for YouTube. Publishing. This section may seem redundant because we already have a deadline section, but oftentimes the date we write in deadline is not going to be the publishing date, and there may be administrative or creative things that need to get done in between the deadline and publishing dates. For example, sometimes I release supplemental materials like this worksheet, which will be available for download in the description, which takes time to prepare. Or you might want to coordinate a social media campaign alongside your release date and need to cut out small snippets from your video. So in this section, I write these reminders so that hopefully I don't have to rush at the last minute. If you're at the beginning of your YouTube journey, in this section, you may want to write down something like custom thumbnails or timestamps, and over time make them more of a habit that no longer need to be written down. Penultimately, we have cleanup. Along with the previous section, this is super important for me personally, as I'm not the most organized person, and especially after working on something for 20 plus hours, as soon as I hit publish, I just want to move on. but I found that not having a good wrap-up routine can lead to frustration or headaches down the line if you forget to say archive B-roll or back up the finished video. And most of the time, the video is not exactly done when you hit publish. It's actually the start of a new process, and the first few hours or days are very crucial to your video success, where you can see the audience's response and make adjustments where necessary. And finally, we have the reward. This is of course not really a necessary process, but I found a little reward can often motivate me and create a positive association with the act of finishing a video instead of just some anxiety or perfectionism. And if you're struggling to get started, it can also be great motivation. Or if you're really a seasoned veteran, it could just be a good excuse to decompress after what is honestly very challenging work. Like I said, this worksheet is going to be available in the description, and I would love to hear your feedback, especially if you end up using it for your own videos. A lot of these topics are things that are covered by other YouTubers, but I hope I put them together in a way that can be easy and practical to implement. Beyond the worksheet, I also often write a script, and I'm reading one right now off a teleprompter, which is something I can also cover in the future, as I plan to do more tutorials on making YouTube videos. So get subscribed to see those, and as always, thank you so much for watching.